70. Everything like pretending. This winter is pretending to be spring. This week I'm reading a book called Female Brain. I book that prove that weirdness isn't mine. Women play a different mood every day for a month due to hormones. To be happy, consistent, very free. That estrogen has to go. It's all this chemistry that underlies the war of women against women. The wars of women with themselves and the whole world. In the book, don't look at the fact that we went online and modernized. Wouldn't it say that brains and motives are from Fred Flintstone and Wilma? Yes, I agree. We are like coal-fired things in modern times. I'm sure men will say polygamous and women monogamous or something in the following pages. What do we do when things are like this? What do we do when we don't earn money, do sports, travel, and build a home? Okay, 71. Buying fish from the same fisherman as Hrant Dink, which is a newspaperman. Hrant Dink, who received a great reaction for the statements, "I'm not Turkish, I am Turkian man, an Armenian," was tried for 3 years for insulting Turkishness for these statements. A lawsuit was filed against him for insulting Turkishness due to derogatory description of Turks and Turkishness in articles from another time. Many lawsuits were filed against Hrant Dink, who was criticized for the statement accusing the Ottomans. He is someone who took part in race debates in Turkey, has often been tried and executed. The next time I saw him, he had been killed. He was lying lifeless on the sidewalk. That's why I can't eat fish. He walked with hundreds of thousands of steps against those who tried to scare him with a bullet or two. It was huge. It was heavier than lead. He stopped. It was dead silent. There were tearful children and a lover in his course. Hrant Dink had good news and bad news for us. The bad news, he was dead. The good news, he wasn't dead. 72. Work yourself. Questions are always there. These days, before I go to bed at night, I read books full of beautiful sentences that I want to enter my brain, because recently, while I was asleep, I felt that a librarian in my head was wrecking my thoughts. So this is one important time, well, considering that some shelves were never visited again. Before I go to sleep, I prepare and swallow some life facts with a glass of water and sleep like that. The officers take them, group them together with the relevant titles and make sense of them. And in the morning, I wake up in another frame of this game. No, I'm not crazy. Book titles aren't important. Everyone is listening to what they hear. I used to think about myself on these walks, the map of my soul, America, Iceland, Guatemala, places I never set foot in, Christopher Columbus, my Titanic, my Himalayas, my monsoon, my world, like everyone. Do you forget how beautiful this is when you grow up and meet your worries? It's not that I'm too worried, I'm just the feeling. So when you get out of yourself and enter the world of others, when you try to look at yourself from others, you can become different and become someone else. Then you can solidify and stay as long as a metaphoric rock. What a sad ending with the human eye only offered a view from inside to outside. The last impressions when he came home. Hid from his wife what he had run into an old friend. I can understand why you are hiding it. And my word to Pil was study yourself. This was Hallacı Mansur's last word. Who is this? Okay, 73 letters from A to I. I will only read my love. B is Britney Spears. Why did this girl lose herself when she had so many letters? Is it over? Everyone curious of that. In 2011, her album Femme Fatale was good, but everyone thought she's done in these years. F, fantasy comedy, type of life. Its fantasticness comes from the fact that it's a journey full of great unknowns, and his comedy is a ludicrous attempts at our desire to control those unknowns. J2R, Nil. As a psychotic told me, I used to live in Egypt in my ex-life. My husband locked me in with a lot of kids. I've never been free. That's why my mission is this life is going to be free and express yourself. I believe that because it's my beautiful fairy tale. Oh, it's Okinawa, a healthy, plant-filled, joyful, stress-free island where people live up 100 years old. Everyone is looking their own truth. I came across this world while listening to myself in the room where I was writing song. P word. The other letters. U, warning. Our planet is in trouble. Since we have succumbed to this gravity, it's worth everything for this beautiful place that we fall in love with every day. Let's sell jeeps and stuff. We have no right to squander so much, nor to pollute the atmosphere so much. Life is made of very little things, seriously. Can't we see that? I'm warning about this too, while I've been warned. 76. What your mind takes, your heart doesn't care. Another day pretending to be success when things are going well and life is routine. It makes me too controlled, too consciousness, too alert. I can't dream, I can't sleepwalk, I can't be silly. A big tiger and little monkey sitting behind him in opposite direction holding the steering wheel. The tiger is our emotions, instincts and abilities, the only animals that we can rush. That's it. We can not domesticate. The little pig is our mind that thinks it turned the mills by bringing waters from the 1,001 streams. His steering wheel is from a toy. That tiger that took us. There is no mind driving us. How ironic that it was that monkey who reminded myself of this. Monkey, brain, tiger, emotions. Okay, 77. The exhibition of squares I entered by accident. The Japanese tourist was taking a photo of his lovers in front of the Fountain of Love, camera in hand. In that square, on its edge and its corner, this state of mind has been documented forever. At the moment, in the lives of two people I never knew that knew me. I was there too. He probably wouldn't have known that I was a Turkish singer. He wouldn't care for a second anyway. I would freeze into nobody's state. For someone trying to create himself as someone, that piece of paper would be portrait of destruction of the ego. Oh, okay. 78. What do you look forward to, Mr. Stevens? Do you have a short sentence with the big point to be given to this question? Then I decided that not having that sentence mean dying. Not looking forward to something happen mean not living. Not being able to answer this question without breathing meant a vegetative life. Most people live were vegetative. According to somewhat sinister but devilish green theory, the number of lead actors in the world was 500. The rest were supporting actors and extra. Me. Were they the one who couldn't wait for something to happen? I would like to open a political parenthesis here. The existence of peace, freedom, and tranquility is essential in order for the thread not to break with the future. The Republic Martians were the best steps taken for me as a woman to tie the rope in my hands and move on. Some things are known to every person who think more or less once in a while. Everything, Mr. Even Stevens, silence is judged by the current circumstances. Who is Mr. Stevens? Emma Thompson. Is it a film, but okay. I took university exam. Since you killed one vulture, if anyone has any idea how the vulture got into this zone, keep it to yourself. I never wanted to find out. Which of the following is the author's main complaint? She has a son named Akbaba, Vulture. Okay, this question in a university exam. I picked C, the low quality in arts in our country. In the university exam Turkish question booklet of private course, the main idea in the paragraph question, Duygu, who loves me in my music, finds a meaningful browsing paper while preparing for the exam. She was surprised when this question came to her. She asks the question of understanding of point of view. What did this man mean? What I don't understand is, what is the author complaining about me? If he never wanted to learn, what he was complaining about the real wanted to learn. If he had a thin booklet of questions in his head, he wouldn't easily have realized that the vulture entered this zone and present worse than death, that it flew away. We couldn't understand in this song. I remember what is vulture, but I explain in here, which I like it. I spent a year of my life this question booklet in order to enter Bosphorus University because I wanted to be all or nothing. I really tried to be understand everything because my humble effort is not add meaning to my life and yours without complaining. The one who marked the answers to the question as B centers the university. What is B? The meaning inconsistency in the lyric and pop music pieces. It can't be, okay. But the one who gives the right to complaining man cannot enter life because I can complain, as he says in our own article. If anyone has an option, keep it yourself. Since I didn't want to play hide and seek with him, I said and wrote his announcement to choose who take the exam and Duygu. Life isn't for those who know multiple choice correctly, but for those who can write a paragraph. This is really true. about themselves without complaining, unfortunately. It just, this is our education systems wrong, I think. 80. The law of things we hide. I keep things I love so much that I don't lose them. Thus, between a book that will never be read until I die, a collapsed book, or the never right corner in the drawer comes a treasure map for me. In the corner of my life, as its sweet car curls up and sleeps, it never meows. Nah. It's okay so far, but people often forget where they're hiding. That's what the law of things we hide says. The law forbids us what we hide. He also throws the hidden thing into eternal prison. Actually, I know why. It will sound crazy to you, but things that will power and self-disappearance. He throws himself on the ground, somehow sticks it somewhere, and smashes it. Stand next to stove and burns it. He does something to himself. This happened to me all the time. My loved ones don't go anywhere. I don't hide them. In this case, it's obviously why the hidden thing disappears. He thinks we love him enough and swim by now. This is kind of lovelessness. He's losing himself too by not standing where we hide. In that case, I say let's obey the law. Let's forgiveness for our material and spiritual belongings that we lost by hiding the next time we hide something. Let's not forget that it was probably the last time we looked at it. 81. We don't envy people we don't like. A person vilifies. Okay, someone is jealous of. They're absolutely ridiculous doing this. He definitely used sharp, nasty words. He's feeling alone in the house of the stranger. He entered with a knife in his hands. Jealousy in one paragraph. Is that bad? It's eat people alive. It grounds in itself. Who am I to compare them to myself and see them close and don't like it? Where does the ego, this comparison come from? Let me tell you, from the animal kingdom. I don't believe that man civilized in the least. She pretends to be civil. It's like being socialized, trying to become a meltdown. As someone who doesn't believe this, I also thought about the reason of this. I keep saying it, even if you're trying to pull me is an insane asylum or something. In this huge gene war with others, one feels a fossil shudder when a loved one, which he really likes, get together with someone he likes. Their offspring could be the next link in evolution. True. 82. The one thing you need to know before you die. Most of the books you wanted to read, your eyes will close before you can navigate through the pages. A lot of things you want to say will never come out of my mouth. When I heard the joke that a 45 years old woman used the word when she grew up, I laughed at states of crying. My God, I'm so sure I'm going to say the sentence too. I'm not talking about the child fallacy in you. This is ignorance of life. We all knew this on a conscious level and thought that we would live forever without being noticed outside of consciousness. Okay, 83. There is nothing worse than eating alone in life. I first saw this phrase in the title book, I Never Eat Alone. Then I heard it, the TV show, the Mexican old man said. So I need to know this. It's beyond my knowledge to explain this anthropologically, but I'm sure it's been noticed in a corner of the DNA that we don't do well to survive when he eats alone. I immediately thought of workshop I attended in London a few years ago. Come, let's get our coffee. Biggest our food, walk to class. What I ate had no taste. 84. The sadness of peasants from the same place for another reason. Sometimes the one there is gone from there. Then the building is just like a shell. Buildings and streets are always part of relationships. Inside me, inside my brain. It's like the set of even. It would be impossible to remain indifferent. Like a billboard on its walls, memories of those years play. The thing is, it's very strange, looking at the old with the new eye. It's not like they used to be. Streets, even buildings, change as quickly as we do. Signs and atmosphere are also portable. It may go out of fashion. Rain may go down. Gloomy may descend upon him. In a universe where the sun is rushing towards another galaxy at 180,000 kilometers per hour, did you think you could fix something? At such moments, I feel like I'm on the roadmap. I say, no, I changed and I'm going to a better place. From my head, I grew up. I know other places. 85. How was the song Yesterday born? Eric Clapton's song. You know, hatred of popular is something the gains of identity, especially for those who wear lace to their intellectuals. Many young people think that the best songs are written with lone suffering. This rather romantic view is actually not true. On the contrary, when people let themselves go, a jumpsuit suddenly falls from the top, uncensored, for often ridiculous vulgar. This is the art of owning what came in such a short time. I also learned this. Even the most mature thing was a baby. Just yesterday, everything was ugly. 86. People get along by sniffing. People sniff, they get along. A man and woman can tell by their skin scent whether they are right for each other or not. And they usually prefer those with different immune system related genes so that they can break the game and set up with different mechanism against microbes, because our main battle with the viruses, if they found the same genetic code in the body they entered, that is, if human multiply by cloning, they would have wiped us out long ago. The only way to create new password they can figure out to write a new combination for each child. Of course, they do the same. The greatness endless war of world is happening at such micro level. Our genes are also unaware of us. Their army themselves according of this war. Freckens is here, helping us craft another gene cocktail. When women were given a sniff of warm man's t-shirt, almost all of them preferred the immune smell different from them. I mean, it's not in vain that I can smell it. Those who don't hold sand in this sense have more difficulty in breathing. The birth control pill, in a way, blocked the smell sensor and caused the wrong partner selection. So when he quit the pill, he's more like to say, "What am I doing with this man?" The perfume industry is trying to manipulate this situation. We don't release our real scent, so it's getting harder and harder to smell each other. Thought bubbler. The thought in this question immediately spread to my emotions close to me on the net. I'm fluttering inside, probably from the thoughts that I can't get out of it. It's okay. On the other hand, I'm going uphill. Who was fluttering like a fish in a net a moment ago is now as free as a bird in the kitchen of our minds. What is cooked daily is eaten. Many feeds on them. It's a tradition to accept those who are full of anxiety and fear as the original and treats the good and the beautiful as a high-hat food. How pessimistic. This happens as you get older. Now I'm trying this every now and then. When I take a fear and start carrying it out, I suddenly stop and deal with something else. It works. The brain, like babies, take care of whatever you show at the time. People listen more to pessimists, and those are worried to say things are going to get worse because fears are heavy. Let's try this out. The law of sensation. If we leave the law of lies, it's easy to try. There are many hills in Istanbul, so we kind of like bubble gum actually. Thought bubble. Okay, 88. Press the button. The thing that I wasted me the most. 88. Press the button. The thing that wasted me the most time in life was my indecision. If you ask me, if you're taking a sure step after so many bookkeeping and proving, I would say no to that too. When you don't choose, when you don't get clear, when you stay too long in who knows, life gets stale like bread. Then you can only meet meatballs. As I said, I live in chaotic hole of thought. Since I can give seconds number to what's in my head, one should not judge oneself. One of my new finds: he who began to judge himself eventually becomes a culprit of everything. Wow. Here's what happened when I got on elevator recently. Because now I'm entering into someone else's wheels. I end up next button of my press. You decide if you got on the cabin of life, and if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to breathe and read this article. You won't wait long. You pick something and press the button. Otherwise, you becoming a part of someone else's journey. For example, when you are going to 2 floors and you got up 35th floor, that's not where you wanted to be. 89. Words are a kind of magic. I gathered the words that I had throw out my mouth to smash. Nothing said could be taken, therefore those who uttered words had to think, wait and swallow. I stopped with the well-chosen non-screaming vocabulary I had learned to make sword like as a child. Every time an arrow and anger fires, the virtue that should be learned and forgotten or not passed into the hands of the bad guys in it. He should look at the wounded, broken bow that fire it. It doesn't have to be seen. Another aspect that requires us to be careful with words is the spell of we cast on ourselves. For example, I cast a spell on myself. I can't write song these days. My motivation is low. I can pick up the guitar by saying the spread in this world. I'm infecting my life, my pen, my feelings, and my guitar. Yes. Motivation is very important. Turkish life letter 90. There is nothing to confuse him so much. Let him travel, be dusty, have fun, get married, have children. He's the one of beautiful children of Turkey. Life isn't that deep anyway, it's true. Let him not tire himself. Go talk to him, he said. I had a mind that was constantly generating questions, so I wouldn't be able to fully savor my work. But I won't. But I would do other things with them. I would write. I would write a song. It wouldn't do anything else for me. Deep questions and their answers are actually a brain hobby, because whatever we do, this is an unknown equation. It's the best play by its rule and enjoy this planet. 91. Me and my brother. I have a brother, 6 years between us. I used to envy him when I was younger. For example, those who pour the cola into glass and those who choose it were different. Either you would be the one to fill it and your right to choose would be gone. He didn't even call me sister for a day. When I come to work, I remind him of that. Time caught up and we realized that we're automatically side by side in life. It was our destiny to love and cherish each other. Our seats in life were next to each other. When we were little, we used to endure the boredom of big things by playing with each other. When we grow up, this game isn't over. We both immersed in the game of life. I start playing Sinan. He was banking. Typical boy and girl. Sometimes I wonder if it's just two of us who know these are games and everything is light. No jealousy. We can both fail in love with men and women we want. We can plan each other for this. We can disappear. We don't even bother with each other. We don't judge each other, our tastes, our choices. What are sitting side by side anyway? We don't try to change each other. We try to get used to it. Me. 92. Three Fathers of Love. My father doesn't have a long beard. He's never been leftist. Okay. He calls himself a social democrat, a liberal, prides himself on not deviating to left even when he most popular. My father doesn't have a son with cranes in it. My father taught me to love two things, not three things. The first things, books. We went to the second together, love of life. Sorry. He said that loving life is a perspective. We had a simple life, but a person stares outside after an age and find a lot of things to make himself uneasy. That's when it worked. You can leave them everything by twisting your head. He placed it in our heads from the mirror in the amusement park. Even the scariest looking fear is a dwarf, he said. Or weren't we afraid? But even though there are tsunamis outside, we found the rope holding us deep down. None of the funniest harmonies at the end of my songs for rhyme. I turned the cheetah story we always knew into a cake recipe. I fed abundant one to the vultures in this way. I laughed at myself and deployment a parachute. If I flew, I would be happy. If I didn't, not crashed. Glad I was worthy of my father. Three things of love from father, I think. Let's be two cars, 93. Here's the problem of our age. None of us share the journey even as we go to the same place. Because we prefer to take our freedom at the expense of loneliness. I don't know how long I will stay in that place. I may want to return immediately. Who says don't take wheels from under me? The coast is a long way to go with music alone. Looking out the window, listening what to think alone, hearing not back, not laughing and sharing half of everything. We can get comfortable. Sometimes we are busy planning the next, and the moment flies away. The next one will fly in the same way. Always think that someone is saying something. That's how we talk. All of us the same time. Do you hear me? How much we don't have time to understand and explain each other. How do we talk online at homes? I'm just saying what have to say. I'm not extending. The world is at the same speed. Those above the accelerating. Let's speed up. I keep speeding up. Everyone always says the same thing in the same way because they have to tell what they have to say at once. Renewing a discourse about yourself by doing two action, driving the same car, walking, sitting, reading. This also take a lot of time. In the other hand, we keep talking about the future with the past tense. Okay, 94. My hometown is different. While I was studying at the Bosphorus University, I used to give romantic answers to a question about the economy in exam. I was thinking as I wrote. I was not, and I'm not otherwise. I'm still like this. I don't record political names, dates, and events, as Virginia Woolf said. I'm a woman and not interested in war. I'm a fan of sewing, not plucking. Anything to anything and anywhere. Oh, you'll say, you live here too. And shouldn't you know about the rule and players of common life? Not necessarily. Until my freedom in any matter it restricts. If I'm arrested, questioned, banned, exiled, imprisoned, banned, confiscated, warned, woken to something. Right now, I'm sitting around and getting up about whether to say two words on my song, on my album. It's a political thing. I start looking for other words in their place because I was afraid I'm mad at myself. Are we going to spend our lives constantly trying to replace something with something else? Will song go out self-censorship first? Do we always connect to YouTube from other sides? So right now, I'm trying to be constructive in this tutor. I'm look my country. I'm more and more like my country, where I can close my eyes, let it myself fall into its. I'm thinking like this too, Nick. Pop music 95. My last observation about music showed that pop music is being listened to in our world now. So what the pop music? In short, long story short, it's mixed iPod setup based on song selection, not singers. Now the era of who listened to this doesn't listen. This is over. The internet put it end to racial discrimination. While listening to Pekemot, you couldn't switch to Ebru Gündeş. Singers in Turkey are the best singers. They would say, insincere, we cannot love both. But, well, we love it. We are on that 96 new life. To put it in its most abstract form, I was in deep bottom box for a long time. It used to be box that I couldn't laugh out of, like surprise boxes with a simple sprint system. I would volunteer in and only sleep inside, because it was possible to look outside with a smile to be surprised. In such boxes, you wouldn't suffocate without this system, but the box must be filled with love, affection, joy, and emotion, big and small, that move our arms around something. Otherwise, your heart will turn to cardboard. I saw in my box that was no longer covered with them. Her mother of pearl turned into a fallen star. I got deeper and deeper. It will become stone. One day I looked darkness. So I didn't get it. Well, I tried to hold on the walls of my box until yesterday. Everything was pouring downhill. I was running uphill. I got a ferry away from everything. The sea has distanced itself by waves, searching with everything, approaching myself. I was throwing myself, my shell away. I was getting away. New life, to new life. 97, 3 locks, 2 keys. She gave me 3 keys. He said, look, this open the apartment door. This is the house. The other one's one old key. We don't use it at all. Easy. I went to top of floor, took a look. 3 keyholes in door. I immediately called and asked. Don't worry, he said. That key will open all 3 locks. When I slipped the key into the lock with the thought in mind, it went into all of them, and the door opened. My God, it's a secret again. What about me? Thinking which doors the key in my hands couldn't open, I overflowed to London. So what does Madonna think she can't open? Well, were you ready to autumn leaves? Please don't be alarmed, that key opened 3 locks. 98. Beautiful if it was meaning. Life is short. All roads are long. Everyone is angular. The world is round. There is no place to arrive. There is only travel. True. Men and women aren't alike. What is common to all is more than what is different. A man, a woman, an animal, or a child. If you're not alive, living, your life is arid. Forgiveness and acceptance are alike. Family's strongest shelter. Everyone taste is had after a certain age, and it's unusual to break habits. Insane is common. Humans' future collect. The future is present that hasn't yet come. Oh, the past is over, now is over. Life is something that cannot be moments. You have no choice but to share. Okay, 99. Charlotte rules. Charlotte is a very beautiful girl living in Paris. She works as a client representative in an advertising agent. She makes good money. Her family is also very wealthy. Harry, a friend, invited me in Paris, Charlotte's house. You know, people are curious about each other's life. They examine it with hypnotizing and unknowingly. True. With simplicity. What amazes me in this life choice of girls, who is also pretty and cool enough to model but also wealthy, it's extraordinary. My own life started buzzing in my head and beef. These moments keep following me through the streets of Paris. I didn't get a single rubbish thing. I always asked, do I really need this? Huge shopping malls began to sound like octopus being each other trick us. Are and certain, while all the products in the bathroom are forming to each other with Suvi bottles, the sweaters we never wear, joking around, the t-shirts in the closet, unopened books are talking to themselves. We don't be there. Moreover, they too will have been no one but us for nothing. Do you understand this Charlotte rule? Yes, I understand. 100. Let the Darwin exhibition come to Istanbul. I've always wanted to take a shelter in the thing that make me feel small next to you. For example, to my uncle Darwin, some people, always few in number, are born in great curiosity. It's like the loaded with the mission, like Eva, Wally movie. They get to work in no time. You can hardly bother and you can never prevent them. As soon as they eat and drink, they don't delve into the world. They put the teeth and nails on what they focus on. What the little Darwin start collected insects. What fascinated him was nature, the animals themselves and their diversity. So one of us, instead of running on it, bent down and got caught up in the living world in the grass. And of course, he would find a great truth there, evolution by natural selection. It's an evolution march. In fact, the secret in diversity, the puppies born are different from each other. All the fanfare starts there. Some of these different offspring survive because they have faults or an advantage in their environment. Naturally, this useful advantage also passes on to their offspring. Of course, the same variety of offspring and again and again. Then the species change and evolve. Yes, evolution. 101 slow praise. Right now, the only reason I look back on these memories is because I yearn for the days when life was slow and just what it was. Everything feels fast forward to me. There are series again. There are bands that I try turn again, but it's different. They are running to. They're used to stop. They rested where they were. Like something dropped into water. The clock would never reach the blue moon. And my mother said, Neil, I would have already taken a corner 100 times when I shot it. I would get enough of the time. Take to me, I said to everyone, don't you feel like you're on the fast train? Yes. I know you're going to say, take a vacation. I say to meditate. But I'm waiting for the next announcement. Do you want to stop the world of modern life? Let me the Paradise Island Blue Moon, completely free of radio, satellite, GSM, internet, television, and similar communication waves. Blue Moon, isn't it film? Okay, 102. Welcome, Mrs. Spring. Immediately, dreams began to come into my mind. And don't you have persons intoxicating invitations? They call me to the streets. Whatever in my shell, they want me take it out. They whisper, get out everything. Take the field. Let Satan sell. Let sellers sell. Let the rest stay. All take off. Okay, 103. Wake ari means as is in Japanese. For the first time in my life, I feel like I might have a tattoo for this. We can stop scratching ourselves. We don't keep tugging at our personality and body. We call them wake bees, those who find us lacking. I'm like this, grouped as a radish in a basket, cut as a carrot, stained as a lemon. I'm such thing. I feel like extremely vitaminated. The worst bacteria to the human soul, the virus of waiting for perfection from life, himself and his loved ones. At the end of the effort to change, a lot of disillusioned people are left with a knife in their hands, and thus the basket will one day accuse him of being a murderer. 104 words I don't like it. I wish, really, I prepared all of the wishes a while ago. Whenever the word tries to merge in my mouth, I hand there is a good on it. It dissolves immediately. In a word where time cannot be rewinded, this useless word of smash of teeth, one hand into the other hand, lifts our muscles into the air. These are the moods of being entered, not being entered. Don't be sorry, move on. Myth. If it goes wrong, a lot of brain art dictators will go out of business. True. Like lovebirds whose spouse die. They die after a while. Someone who set the rules will judge and punish us with these words. However, the most just order established over time in civilization within the human being. Without using the word, they can turn your compass for good. There is no such thing as wrong. Who is right? We can cross the street without Mr. Right. Let's talk. Okay, Mr. Right. Digging between your troubles. That's when I discovered to dig a ditch between you and your troubles. Something like this. If you manage to go back to 2 steps, a ditch opens us between you and the question. You get embroidered many of alternative response, just like computer game. Next, the epithet is yours. 106. Give yourself some time. Someone who is not like you, for example, calmer than you. Someone who doesn't have your habits, doesn't share your concerns, and doesn't even get along with you if you meet them. B. You can be. Everyone is in it. When you stop and run to a place where you can breathe, you will see that you are not much different from the battery-powered device. When I returned home without getting anyone done, I stayed in Istanbul with the uncle conscience, who scolds me, the city where I breathe. He wants me to run more, the less breathing. I'm running like cartoons. Until sparks come out of my feet. Yes, I said, I will do duet to that song. I will write lyrics. I will write that jingle. I will play that commercial. I will publish that book. Okay, 107 on harm of gossips. Rumors. But nature of tongue cannot be trusted. He says he won't tell. He says he won't repeat. He says he won't hurt. He says he won't. I don't spell it. I will not be the carrier of the virus. First, it makes you laugh, but then he'll cough. Lover's immunity. It ignites the fire of the soul of man. I just read somewhere when one gossips, one should think of it is leaving the trash both in front of the door and inside the house. So the spirit of gossip stings of it. Hearing the sound they make, evil will come and try to enter your ear. From this point on, there is no way you wouldn't hear these bad words. That's why I keep quiet. I swallow my word. A bad word swallowed doesn't harm the body. 108. Altogether, I don't feel guilty. He truly becomes a wake Ari, when he knows himself. It's like it is. It's the okay, dear. You say that there is such a mark here, such a fracture here, such a lameness in my foot, spiritually, of course. Then it will not seem strange to you to limp spiritually, and you will forgive yourself in many ways. And everything will be incomplete. Yes, everything will definitely be incomplete. Yes, everything will definitely be incomplete. Most things will, and before I fail and start. Therefore, it's the time to break the idols where we have created about ourselves and relax the sorest way and soothe ourselves into someone's guilt. Let's give a good breath to everyone, including us, who idolize ourselves and then become disappointed. I don't challenge myself. Yes, 109. I'm bad, I'm bad. This is Michael Jackson's. I used to sleep night with Madonna poster in front of me and Michael Jackson's bad type in my hand without turning off my lamp. I was sick of these two, king and queen. Yes, we got these numbers from Michael. He visualized music. He made sort of films for his song. Then we made it. They said Michael died to small wound in my hand open in surprise. The bed tape fell out of it. I heard your voice. The brightest star mentioned in my saga, the other Michael Jackson, will no longer be visible from our world. 110 methods. There is a method. It would be a lie if I said I always do. Most things that look thaw on the outside are as easy as a watermelon on the inside. It's too good to taste. It is the cure of most things you are thirsty for. I applied the method to such a hard thing. I asked him to cut himself in half and show the inside. But I know that no matter what moves I order, I will defeat the monster that comes my way. There are keys inside the human being which, when pressed at the same time, destroy everything. Over time, we learn over and over, side by side. Don't say life is not game if you play. 111. It's what you want. There is nothing in vain in life. If there's a gap, dexterity finds the fool in it. Life isn't something to waste without thinking about it. This is always blue sky, right? Exactly 325 days of the year. Whenever I get very close to the ocean, I feel tiny and it does me good. The worst thing to do is to feel big. I don't know if this is an ego. As I left, he grabbed my hand tightly and said, "Don't forget, it's what you want. So remember, what matters is what you want." That was the life lesson I wanted. 112. Fantastic questions. Well, this is the most disliked of the one letter question. Before I went to the TED conference, I had to answer the most annoying and ticklish question I ever been asked on internet. For example, tell us an idea worth spreading. What is the last word you deleted? What are your unrealized projects? What makes work art, a movie, a book, a song, a walk, or good? 113. It's never too late for a happy childhood. Why is everything felt more exaggerated at night? Is this institution of marriage in its final stage in human evolution? Does childhood copy itself exactly to greatness? Last night I dreamed that I turned a stone and saw that it was a creature with thousands of feet. What does that mean? Should we try to find out what our dreams are every morning? Every dream is full of personal codes. In other words, there are no generalizations such as you have seen the sea, you are fresh, you have fallen from somewhere, you have a fear of failure or something. 114. Man doesn't want to believe that he is his master. True. Man, human doesn't want to believe that he is his master. I can't stand them. Unfortunately, 70% of our conversation consists of implied accusation sentence, either ourselves or the other person, because something that hurts one heart is to blame or to be accused. Other words I want to remove. I didn't happen, I can't, and I won't. I really don't like this trio. If I didn't happen once, I didn't know ridiculous to turn around and look at what behind and done into cold against the wall in front of us. I can't be a word to people because everything happens. It can be created. I know he's serving a life sentence for joy, dear thought and likeness. But there's no need to substitute crime and punishment. Let these be deleted from the dictionary. Let's pull the spaces in their place. Happens, and will happen. 115. A marriage exchange. I'm looking at what marriage is, why it exists, why it was invented, why it lasted, how long it will last when to get married. I asked the men of lone married couples. Then he said, I promised her something when I got married. If you marry me, you won't be bored for life. Is that exactly what I wanted to hear? I guess that was it. Because later I told all women I knew. They all went soft like butter. We were stupid. And stupidity was such a sweet and real place. So what did you want in return? Peace. That's what is post-dispute it's about. 116. There are those who call me a child. I want to be a baby. Instead of sitting around the tables for a long time, drinking wine and talking about life, relationship, hometown, and then I need a crawl under it. I want to go other tables from our table, listen to what they are talking about, hug those people and laugh with them. When I close my eyes with hands and don't see you in the world where I'm invisible to you, I want to step on seat, not sit on them. As soon as I open my eyes in the morning, a whole world to explore my only job. 117. Don't say what you don't want to hear. You're looking for a key. It will open the locked doors inside. Nobody likes locked doors. But no matter what we do, the whole mystery of life will not lie before us. Let's say disease an unpleasant adjective. I specifically avoided the word bad because I don't believe in bad and good, right and wrong. They walk arm in arm in my world. They marry each other and have children. I know how to discern the good in the bad and the bad in the good. These words towards into this mouth with a fairy waits to be spoken, to be born. At the moment you can grab it and send it back your stomach with a successful swollen motion. Long story short, the word is living thin. It's born and grows. Your baby becomes your world in lone marriages. It's recommended not to mention past mistakes or unforgettable words. They are hidden out of sight. 118. www.girdiim.com. When I said let's open a website, let's collect broken hearts. Well, why are you hurt? 'Cause I can bend. I was often that my father left me alone in this world of trouble. Broken because I have nothing left but 119. Let's renew, my dear. You have a lot of load, I can see. You look like you're walking in the rain, wearing a top coat made of heaviest fabric. Your pockets are full, always with outdated invoices. It's like your ribs are bars and your heart is beating inside. Fortunately, you're convinced to let go of this state. You're waiting for your day. You want to quit smoking, eat healthier meals, do a job you love, fall in love, be slim like everyone else, delay. Game is life. Life is game. Well, game. I have yet to come across a site to be taken seriously. You said this country is like a restless house. Each room has a separate fight, a fight with parents, a fight with the neighbor, a neighborhood pattern. You're right, but if everyone sweats their own concerns, that too will be done. 120. Discoveries of this week. Perfectionism, the worst enemy of decision. Still, I didn't pick it up and hang it in my mind, because I actually need serious city planning in my head. When then this is the case, is that or that, and is that or that brothers often keep me busy, especially when I'm about to sleep. They haunt me with their voices and images, and when I sleep, they take on various disguises and haunt me in dreams. The cause of indecision is perfectionism. There is no such thing as perfect, so indecision is pointless. Choose and proceed. If you do not move forward, you cannot see what will happen in the future. You will always live with what is now. So, wouldn't it be better to step on the wayward stones of life rather than fall into the trap of perfection and still stand still? Doesn't the thing that counts is place fade? Okay. I was getting married in my dream. I was on the ship 121. I was on the ship on the Nile in Egypt. They also got up early. They too were fascinated and stared. Some took pictures. We didn't say a word. Feelings shouldn't be interrupted. my family and everyone I love most in life on this ship right now. It's like Noah's Ark. Just dream. 122. Dear now. I realized that he was the only wire connecting me to the now. He does not pay attention to the sound, rhythm, or abundance of human breath. He assumes it. However, he is the one who assumes us. All the emotions you breathe in enter from there. It also throws out the waste emotions. 123. Making style out of flaws. Thankfully, there are 2 holes in the filter through which the song passed. I like it and I didn't like it. Nothing more can be done. It's the fair, it's the simple. You can pursue anyone to the song you love. Allow children more and adults find it more stimulating because in passing I heard this teacher say, remember, this is no such thing as bullshit. Draw however you want. Nothing you do will be stupid. 124. Good for me. Are we sick? Do we have a constant problem? Do we feel that something is good for us? This thought actually leads me to the fact that most women feel constantly in riddles. So there are always open file on the desktop. Lots of open parentheses. There are questions for one, searching for answers. Otherwise, how can these books, travel, and conversation be good for so many women? Why don't men ask this question? Are they in good spirits? Is there anything good for them? Or he? How I love, let something grab me and get soil on my feet. Let the feeling about forgiveness, actually loving everyone, spread like ink in my heart. Oh, let me accept everyone as they are. I wish I never tried to change it. 125. Message to Miss Springs. You have a way of doing everything you can think of. I'm like the Matrushka. I'm full of excitement. I keep counting down to something. My arms go away. My hands go the other way. I say life, no matter what anyone says, it's a beautiful thing when you're in it. People don't fully understand it. I think we'll not understand when we are outside. It's like getting is gone, a new one is coming. All thanks to you, Spring Lady. 126. Men's mind more big, women's mind too. Okay, of course, there's situations where men want to compromise and women want to tease. But when we look at their use of language, for example, we all accept the difference. Men underline hierarchy and women underline sameness when talking from a young age, while men connect with each other by saying mine is more. Women are connected by saying mine too. In other words, men are keen on standing out and women are keen on equalization. 2 women in trouble often say to each other exactly or I see the same thing happen to me. In the sameness, they become closer. After any dialogue, the man asks, am I on top now or is he? While women were thinking, do we have a deal? He was thinking, that's why men don't like to ask for direction, because the man who asks for the way is undermined. This is the reason why most men and women leave the conversation disappointed. When The woman talks about her problem. The man proposes a solution. The purpose of woman is hide it under spell left bucket. That's why the man's proposal seems rough and cold to her. He thinks that empathy isn't established, and he said, and he said, the man who cannot understand the woman's sadness keeps thinking about this for a lifetime. If he doesn't want to solve it, why doesn't keep talking about this problem? Real. This is real issue. Ah, woman, ah. 127. The endless issue of my country. In this country, there is no dinner table with friends so that politics isn't discussed. How not to argue? How can you stay political in this country? I would love to stay. Stay. We are always on edge. Nobody sits comfortable. Everyone sits and jumps up. Those who says everything is fine. Those who says nothing is fine. Those who says that if it's like this, I will get the way. If it's like that, it will go out of your way. Everyone is talking at once. This is the problem. I don't want this place to cry more. Don't get hurt here. I don't want to live between hiccups all the time. I want to be a beautiful woman. Be a girl, not be pushed around, not pulled from her hair by my ear. Music is the most beautiful equalizer in the world. True. My country. 128. Life is short. You still offend him. Don't forget this. Don't delay this. Don't worry. Life will erase all your delusion and you with big eraser. At the time, at those lines that were written in time, that heard as you read them, will be left with one turn, their self bruised. Postpone everything you can as long as you can. Their day will not come. You will stay. Let these children grow up. You will say, let this period pass. However, life takes people back into womb one by one, just as it drops them one by one. Others are different by name. They don't know what inside of you, what you think. They don't exist if you don't think about it. There is only you. If only you knew. Neighbor is a window. Others gossips for 15 minutes at most. Life is too big to see through a window. And through short, is it longer than 15 minutes, my dear? You're looking for fault in yourself. You look for fault in others. Everyone has flaws. The important thing is to seek the perfect, the unique thing. Searching. 129. Education change off is a must. I experienced such a celebration, for example, when I entered Bosphorus University. But what is there to be so excited about being accepted into kindergarten? Oh, will you? There said. If he gets into this kindergarten, he will go to the best schools. He says, what can you look at CV of the 2 or 3 years old person and say, you've been alive for exactly 13 6 months, and that's you just did. That life isn't linear. It never happened. The education system is outdated. The world today is very different, and all the education system of world, of course in Turkey, repeat an old mantra. Words that cannot be spoken anymore, lights that do not illuminate anywhere, don't open any doors. They carry heavy keys in their pockets. Education today kills creativity. Creativity because it's imposed right and wrong. 130. You can choose yourself another ending. Like game. You know, in computer games, he pauses the story somewhere and pops a box for you. It says choose. We are always choosing. We choose constantly. But it was so sweet, vagrant, and naive that we think we don't choose. We know everything from the fate aunt, to whom we threw ourselves into rose-smelling arms. Knowing this, instead of burying our heads in feather pillows, if you look at the boxes a little bit, maybe we will see that we are the lady who knitted this story. Yes, we have a story. It's written paragraph by paragraph. We wear it and walk around. It suits us. It's make us. Whether or not you hurt someone there, or even accidentally or knowingly kill them, looks like a pedigree scenario. 131. With love to those who want to take action. Are your dreams flying in your mind like butterflies and you can't catch them? Do butterflies look giant to your eyes? Do you have a lot of numbers and have a hard time choosing? Or is their life a single day just above their name? They identify 10 barriers to doing something and being productive as follows. Prejudice is taking action. This is true of many people I know, myself included. These are plans forever. However, at the moment of starting to do, magical information began to come and constructive development began to occur. The prejudice deprives us of them today. Great thinking paralyzes. Let's break them into pieces, making prototypes. There is no way than trial and error. The first state of everything sucks. Everything thins out over time as you play on it. Wide angle strabismus. This is too much for me. Developing a routine, it's good. It sets a person life clockwork. Look, I'm not bad at that. Divide and rule. Divide your target into target lists. So every week of month to achieve goals. To drop by dropping becomes a lake. 132. Warrior and typewriter. We all had fun by peeking at each other and constantly texting while saying internet, mobile map. Facebook is a heaven for voluntary peeking of people's lives. Judging by its population, Facebook land is the third largest country in the world. There was a period on television that still most loved thing is watching people locked in house. In the privacy of our home, we enjoy looking at other people's lives through the people. How are they through? What do they do? How are their reactions? How are their fights? How is their love? I also took the risk of all the schizoid cracks this would create in my personality. I also took theater. I watched myself. I paid. I can't stop paying. If tomorrow we had a place to share our hair, I could leave a strand every day. I think I was born for this, to deliver myself, to convey my words, my feeling, my voice, my joy, my sadness. I want to inflict my many people as possible. I get in it, obviously. 133. Then, what is that? A few fathoms. It was another year. It was another kind of breath. Not interested in iPad or anything. What we wanted from the world was a hole. He had come to go deep. I would take a closer look. We got pretty close. I brought the binoculars to my eyes. Then what is that? She's woman, female. Are you sure? Maybe the man's wife. Maybe the sleeping inside. What is the woman beating an octopus on a rock? In that picture framed with crosses is an octopus already dead, eaten by rocks and making a salad for the evening. At least that, not him. Then we slowly drifted away. The dream is not my hand become an illusion. The butterfly in my palm turned into sand that fell out of my fingers. I like this storytelling. 134. When was the last time you stopped doing nothing? The mouth of my soul open there. I eat my spoonful of soul food. Maybe it's that nobody knows me, doesn't speak my language or something, and my steps are slowing down. I don't know. I've talked about this before. One day, from those days when I was alone, something strange happened to me that had never happened before. I don't know how I got into this situation, but when I was alone, the two things I thought were not with me, my cell phone and my book. You will say, oh, what thought it was real deprivation. Don't say that. When was the last time you sat down on the street doing literally nothing? Mine was that day. I didn't stop and look at the street since I was not left in such situation. This new situation made me terribly uncomfortable. If I meditated or something, maybe I get a little used to the idea. Maybe then my inner seas would not fluctuate so suddenly and would be calm. But no, I was the person whose equipation was taken away and kept myself busy looking at the passing of life. However, that was all I had to go. A brief glance at my passage of life. The void would be filled soon anyway. 135. What are the most beautiful things? One of the best things to do something, to feel useful means not to rust. It means to shine. It means something will be missing while you're gone. Of the most beautiful things to be one with nature, for example, diving deep, smelling trees, stepping on rocks, taking care of animals, forgetting about the mountains, shopping malls, and the crowds and newspapers. One of the best things is to learn. Curiosity is beautiful. Reading on wonderful thing. I'm saddened by the death of paper. Some of the poems and lyrics are amazing. I can get near them. It fascinates me. Pay attention to words weak. At 136. I'm most afraid of them. I'm afraid because I know your words are more shattering than piranha, and more immortal than Count Oracula, if they will. That's why I don't like clumsy people. I stay away from them. They sharpen words and with intelligence and immerse them into your soul like acupuncture. You say, you don't rest until they say so. They will squeeze you until you see bitter water come out of your eyes. It's not in their hands. That's the only way they know they exist. True. Praise for action. No, thank you. I don't want to move from where I am. I'm fine here. I don't intend to get involved in chain of even that. Certainly don't know what's going to happen, and I probably won't like it. Ah, Beirut. I'm rich. I have an Arab side to me. In me. Even if he hears the slightest wrong, he won't leave an untreated street in his soul. It is deep. He is not afraid of feelings. He doesn't pour through water on it. Eventually the flame, it blazing. What is life? One drink of sherbet is rakı that is getting smoky. It's just drink. Not afraid of anything. It's also an Anglo side of me. When they look at me from the outside, they appears first. I delusion. He even speaks English with me sometimes. We were very close when I was younger. We would shut up in the room, listen to the rock for hours and not. His body moves differently. Her body moves differently. She collects her hair in different way. She reads other books. She thinks, she finds, she tries to thin me, files my mind. It teaches me civilization. She teaches me about Europe, America. These two sides of me are my wealth. Istanbul is their home. I took the two of them by a hand and took them to Beirut. They crazy, while one run the mosque and kebab. The other rushed to nightclubs with lungs. Beirut fascinated me. I saw my old wealthy of poverty in there. You're just someone passing through here, the wind told me. You haven't seen war. You never got your knees with the bombs in the building opposite while you were cooking at your house. You know, he said, what is starting from scratch. It's not like breaking up with a lover and getting hair dyed. It's like dying and being resurrected. Beirut, you made me head spin with your nights. I will come to you again. I'll be Arab again, Anglo again. Okay. 139. The lifting power of music. Without the lifting power of music, life would have us all glued to the ground. Some feeling. Some albums are like key chaining a lot of keys. They unlock all our lock from the periods. They roam the corridors of our souls. They dance flirtatiously in room where no one enters. No one favorite song is the same because no one is the same. Everyone has home they secretly love, just like their little self that they keep to themselves. 140. The article where everyone's name is human. People in the world who breathe and breathe at the same time, and whose skin is still warm and actually brothers. At most is a branch of the tree of humanity that will live for a lifetime and break. Those people and geography, culture, etc. determine our first home, and the way of will go for a while. I don't know. Will be baptized or circumcised. Will we go to school or not? Shall we play with PlayStation or Kalashnikov? These are the one that comes out the play coincidence package. Are they swallow us? They swallow such thing that we don't know about anything else. This is true. A reminder, amusement park. When I was a kid, I liked lawn chairs when better. They would throw people higher at those heights. You could look into distance that elders below didn't know. Of course, the children next to us were bored in the dwarf world of the grown-up, and I gave them rights. I bet the best was amusement park. Since the definition of the fun, this business has no taste. Wishing you childish fun in the new year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2011. Finished. It was very good for me to talk briefly about very general topics in one video. I like it.